Griggs County Commission, Thursday, November 8th, 2019. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call. John.
Here.
Dale. Here. Mark is absent today. Sean. Here. And Troy's here. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda as presented?
Move to approve the agenda as presented.
Been moved by Dale to approve the agenda as presented. Is there a second? Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Need to review the minutes from October 18th.
Page 3. First paragraph, Chairman Olson opened the floor to discuss the delinquent tax property. There was discussion on the minimum bid information that was presented, period. Motion by Peterson to approve the minimum bids, rather than bids.
There's only one piece of property.
Okay, bid is fine, as for the tax sale, and then remove the next sentence. There was continued discussion on the minimum bids that were presented. Remove that. And Commissioner Wakefield seconded the motion and called 3 times for discussion with roll call vote. And then remove the last sentence. There was continued discussion on how the minimum bid was derived.
There was only one property, right?
Yeah.
And they came and paid, so we deeded it back to them already, so
Yep.
it's not gonna be a tax sale, right?
No, there were 2 properties.
there was 2.
And
Oh, there
one,
was 2.
one came back and one
Okay.
came and paid.
Somebody
so
paid.
there's still one.
bids.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe it
this
was- it was
house
good.
out here on Baker Street is
Yep.
the only property we took.
That was wishful thinking. I was hoping we didn't.
Yeah,
have
I
to
know.
have tax sale.
That would be probably the first time in the history of the county if it happened.
Okay, you got those, Connie?
Mm-hmm.
Was it last meeting that we discussed the old courthouse and instructed Jamie what to do moving forward?
Right? He was gonna write a letter, or did he write that, was that the previous meeting?
I don't know. Let's see if I
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it was, I guess there was discussion on the old courthouse. I guess it's fine. It doesn't entail what the discussion's about.
That was the October 4th meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one before.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need a full set of minutes for that water board meeting?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I assume so. There was a quorum.
We do.
Yeah, as long as there's a quorum and we were in attendance, and
Mhm. She did him, didn't she?
Mhm.
you approving both as together, or do you do them separate?
We usually do them separately.
Move to approve the October 18th minutes as amended and dispense with the reading.
Second.
Been moved by Dale, seconded by Sean, to approve the October 18th minutes as amended and dispense with the reading. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we'll review the minutes from the November 6th meeting, which was a water board meeting that was attended by John, Dale, and myself.
I guess the fourth paragraph. Wakefield brought up the issue of what would happen if the county drained Lake Jesse and who would be involved. I think it was Wakefield brought up the issue of who had the authority to authorize a drainage project involving Lake Jesse. I don't think we're gonna drain it. Hope not. Mother Nature did at one time, but the discussion was about who had ultimate control of it. Was it the state or the federal?
The level of the lake.
So it brought up the issue of who had the authority to drain Lake Jesse and who would be involved.
Who would authorize a drainage project concerning Lake Jesse?
I mean, you were talking lowering the levels to some,
I just wondered how you.
But I don't-
word. Who would authorize, say that again?
A drainage project
A drainage, okay.
concerning Lake Jesse.
I think you did say drain Lake Jesse, but I know what you meant.
Or a Lake Jesse drain, I probably said maybe, but who knows? I don't think we better start on that till we get permission.
Something better
Just do like the state and just build the pumps and do it and don't ask anybody if it.
Go start the pumps at Devil's Lake and they're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess either way, drain doesn't mean empty, I guess.
Right.
Although when you drain a bathtub, you usually don't leave any water in it. So we're gonna change it.
Lowered the level of Lake Jesse.
Yeah.
Let's change it from drain to lowered the level.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking
Provide an outlet.
about. I bet you the Corps, the State Water Commission, and Game and Fish would want to all be involved with that, for sure.
Plus
But I'll
all the
let them figure it
landowners.
out. What's that?
Plus all the landowners.
Right.
So I have who would authorize lowering the level of Lake Jesse.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
I move to approve the November 6th special meeting minutes with corrections and dispense with reading.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Dale, seconded by John, to approve the minutes from the November 6th meeting as amended, dispense with the reading. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Move on to the bills.
She has a note here to add this one.
Oh, we got one to add. Town and Country Co-op, $3,152.22. Looks like bulk diesel, and diesel. Anybody have any questions in the bills? I don't know how this Christian motor Chrysler bill
What's
could
that?
be training, but
What?
Yeah, I saw that one too, the
Sheriff training at Christian Chrysler.
Oh, yeah.
came out of the wrong account.
had to.
What is it?
Must be repairs or maintenance or.
Who? What?
What is it?
VW Motors?
I know, but I mean, how is it training?
Well, it has to be taken, it must have been a miscue on the account by somebody.
It was tires, so I don't think it's, unless it's training equipment. I don't know. It does say general sheriff training and equipment, but that's, there, he has another equipment line, doesn't he?
Oh, I thought
There's
they'd have a
some-
maintenance, a vehicle maintenance
There
line
probably
item.
is. It's probably just a wrong number he put in.
Huh?
Maybe that budget is.
Yeah, that could be.
But if it is, we can,
Better
I mean,
Yeah. It's probably just a typo.
Are we down a deputy?
I don't know.
I heard we were, but are we down a deputy now or?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hired somebody, I heard. But I don't
That fellow
know.
from Devil's Lake left?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I guess he was having another kid up there. Or not up there, but I mean, they were having another child. And it was time to move
They moved back to Devil's Lake?
back.
Oh, they did, huh?
That's the rumor I heard, so I don't know for sure. I also heard that Wes hired Shane Johnson.
Oh, did you?
I didn't. That's what I heard. Yes.
Go ahead.
Anything else in the bills?
Yeah, there's a maintenance and maintenance repairs in the budget for 5,000. I don't know what the.
Move to approve the bills as presented
It's been moved by Sean to approve the
With
bills
addition.
with the.
with the addition of Town and Country. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
All right.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. I think we should put those expenses where they belong, even if we have to amend the budget at the end of the year.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, we don't know how much to budget for the next year.
Right.
We got monthly office reports is next. I wondered why that SUV had sat in the parking lot for so many days in a row.
Mhm.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move to approve the office reports as presented.
Moved by Sean to approve the office reports as presented. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Wayne?
I'll let Paul explain about, we have completed the work on Conway 26, the addition of riprap. And Paul can,
Guess I got a change order number 4 is in the packet there, but looks like it's been double-sided, so just gonna give you guys another copy. For signature, and then, so we talked at last commission meeting about, putting in some riprap on the south side of the road. Or both sides have had enough funds to do so, but, the numbers worked out to be, about 575 tons would use the remaining funds for construction dollars. And that's with the underrun on our estimate for inspection of the culvert installation, so we use some of that budget to put the riprap in for that change order.
We need to approve this change order, or we already did?
We need to vote on that, yeah.
Okay.
It was $30 a ton, 575 tons. And that was, we didn't put in fabric, any of that, just the rock. Didn't disturb less of the slope and the existing vegetation there. Whatever was still there. Water was about a foot below the shoulder of the road when I was out staking it. I think it might have gone down a little bit since then. Oh, we got some or I guess we'll go with that first. Worked out to be 805 feet, or just short of that, on the south side of the road, starting at the, just east where the culverts went in. Would have been nice to put in another 8 loads or so, but it got the bulk of it covered that needed to be. The existing elevations are the water's a lot shallower on the west end, so it should protect it pretty well. And I guess definitely got the most bang for the buck out of it. Where we did.
Motion to approve change order number 4.
Move we Approve change order number 4 to project 2026-058.
It's been moved by Sean that we approve change order number 4 as presented. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale? Sean? Aye. Troy votes aye. Motion carried.
That's good news, because the work's already done, so. Here's some pictures of the site. The first few are just when they were dumping it, and then towards the back end, there's the finished product. And to go along with that would be the pre-final estimate. I guess we held, so the difference between what they hauled in and what goes in the change order is only about half a ton. So they hit it right on the head, I guess, as far as what we asked them to do and what they did. So there's pictures floating around there, and then we've got progress estimate number 5 for final. That's that quantity less the 2.5% retainage that will hold until the final records are approved. They completed work on the 30th of October. I guess we could back down progress estimate number 5 pre-final. That'd be the next step. And the only quantity on that estimate is that riprap. It was 574.52 tons.
Oh,
Okay. Anything else, Wayne?
Do you guys want to vote on the
On what?
estimate number 5, the invoice for the riprap?
The rest of it,
5 pre-final is what PF stands for.
Page
I
32.
saw it right by that. Yeah.
That's the one for 16,804.
Yep, and that's the 17 and change, less the 2.5% retainage that will hold until the final records are done.
I move we approve the progressive estimate of 5 PF for 16,804.71.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Sean, seconded by Dale to approve the progressive estimate in the amount of 16,804.71. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Done?
that's all I have.
All right.
Go get some venison.
What's that?
Go get some venison.
Wait till after dark, it's easier.
Easier than,
Can I grab the estimate too, or should we, or just want to email it, maybe?
Oh, I didn't even see it here.
And then can I just email it to you?
Or Sam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, should we
Either
back-
one of us.
Okay.
'Cause she-
I'll copy both.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Her deputy checks her emails, so.
All right, sounds good. All right, thank you.
Yep, thanks, Paul.
thank you.
Yep, thanks, Wayne.
Good luck.
social service, human service zone agreement. So as you guys know, we signed one of these before we officially opened for business as a zone. But apparently, the state has decided that all these things need to be uniformly done. You know, I think every zone was kind of authoring their own agreement. So they asked everybody to do this. Adopt a new one, even though it's kind of water under the bridge. And then there's several copies in here because whoever was looking this thing over out at the state kept asking Mary to add more things or change stuff. So then today we finally got the one that they were happy with. So they just want us to re-adopt this. Zone agreement. I can't hardly believe this is gonna be the end of it, but. When the state funds this thing in its entirety, they're gonna want.
They're gonna try.
To design it the way they think it's best suited to operate, but Any thoughts on this zone agreement and letter?
I can't offer an opinion on it, because it's above my understanding there.
Which one of these is the agreement?
And
Well-
Dale's too.
Seems to be several drafts of it. Which one are?
There is, because she kept sending them in and they kept telling her what changes they wanted her to make. I don't know if even the final one is in here, but, cause I think that just came this morning. No, the one I got, the email that came this morning was from this Jonathan. Information looks good, no additional changes would be required. That just came this morning. So the latest one that I have. I think the letter is the agreement, Dale. That other thing is just a template. Oh, no, that's not right. We would need them both.
Maybe someone could come and explain it to us.
I think she's under the gun, that's why it ended up happening this way.
We're gonna go with the last one in the packet is the one that we're,
The last one that came, Mary will have the right one.
yeah.
You know, she'll have the original. I just haven't seen her. I just talked to her on the phone.
So was this just informational for us, or what? I'm not sure what this is.
What is it? What?
I mean, all this, I don't see anything to take action on.
Well, I can just sign it if you don't want to approve it.
No, but what are we? I'm not sure what we're
All it
doing.
is reasserting that we're a district. We already formed the district. They just want to have a standardized agreement in the zone agreement between all the counties.
Oh,
If they make a motion, we sign and submit the Eastern Peninsula School Service District's plan.
It's been moved by Sean that we approve the zone template and the letter of, on the letter to Chris Jones at the Department of Health and Human Services. Is there a second to the motion?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This email from the Barnes County Auditor. I guess I didn't even know there was an East Central County Commissioners Association.
Doesn't look like everybody else did either.
it must have been dormant before we even got the chance to opt out of it.
Everybody already opted out.
Guess I'm quite sure it would have went along with the other one we were a member of, if they won't let us go to keep paying our dues for us.
So,
Jamie.
Howdy.
I agree with the dismantlement and distribution of funds.
is that a motion?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Been moved by Sean, seconded by John, that the county commission ask Samantha to contact the auditor in Barnes County and notify her that the wishes of the county commissioners in Griggs County are that the organization be disbanded and the funds be dispersed to the member counties. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Sean?
Aye.
Troy votes aye. Motion carried.
Hi, Jamie.
Howdy.
Looks like somebody authored, is this you, Connie?
Changes.
The synopsis?
Yeah. With Sam.
Huh?
With Sam.
Okay. Kind of a recap of what took place with our state mandated changes to the valuations. Looks like Samantha would like to pay David Lundy for some time he put in. I suppose he knew where things were at.
How did we arrive at 21.63 per hour? That seems kind of like an odd.
That's what he was making when he was here. That's what Sam and I make too, and Kelly. If we figure it hourly.
I guess I'd move to approve the voucher.
It's been moved by Dale to approve the voucher to David Lundy for a second. Seconded by Sean. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
No.
Dale?
Aye.
Sean? Aye. Troy votes aye. Motion carries. Thank you guys for doing that. I'm glad that got done. I'm not sure what those next two pages are, Connie. Do you know what we're doing? It's a weed control budget.
She said that she found out, what did she say? She found out that she just changed this so the FICA numbers were in there. Are they in there?
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
second page is.
This
Yeah,
was-
the
this was
FICA and
her-
job service, yeah. So the totals didn't change, she just changed the placement of the numbers
Oh, I see.
for, so that they come out of this budget instead of the general.
I see.
Okay. And it didn't change the ending, the 54.25, right?
She lowered her salary to keep the
Yeah,
numbers, keep the budget the same.
right.
Okay. So those are the only two things that are affected by her taking on that position as well.
Right.
Okay. So, with that said, do you want to make Samantha the permanent lead officer? Because we kind of were appointed her pending, right? Well, that's 19. Oh, I see.
Oh, there's 20.
Yeah.
What are we waiting for?
Do we need to act on that, or?
Don't know.
So previously, she was temporarily appointed?
Yeah, pending.
I think she was,
And
I think we hired her pending any, or
Modification.
modification or
Salary.
adjustments
Well, we
in
can fix it
costs.
pretty easy then.
What's that?
If we don't know, we can fix it pretty easy. So I make a motion, we hire Samantha for the full-time weed board officer at the salary and benefits set forward.
Is there a second?
Second.
Been moved by Sean, moved by John, seconded by Sean to hire Samantha as the weed officer for the county based on the budgets presented. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. John?
Aye.
Dale?
Aye.
Sean? Troy votes aye. Motion carries. This next item is a corrective quitclaim deed. It's a parcel of property in Binford that we ended up with on the tax sale. And then we gave it to the city of Binford, and the city of Binford gave it to somebody or sold it to somebody. And that person is gonna build a house on it, so they started down the trail of, a home loan, it sounds like. Well, part of that is getting a title opinion. And apparently there had never been a title opinion done on this parcel. And it turned out that the legal description was not recordable. So, they had to hire KLJ to go up there and survey it and get a good description. And now Travis is going back to everybody that is in that chain of title that's still living and getting a quitclaim deed with the proper legal description on it. And so it'd be us, the city of Binford, and I think Kevin Tweed and maybe somebody else. But this has been wrong since 1923. But it's bare ground, so I suppose nobody's ever bothered to pay for a title opinion.
Yeah, it's just that dump ground property that was north of Binford, right? The
Well-
house.
It was never a dump ground property, it was where because the road in Binford doesn't run
True.
true north, it's to link up the road coming out of Binford with the road coming into Binford, it created a Y there. And I don't suppose it was ever
Never developed.
developed. That's how it got it. We remember they were going to, the mayor of Binford, Kerry Swanson, came and bought a tax sale. They were going to make it into a dirt landfill. And that never happened. And then in the meantime, they sold it to this people that wanted to build a house. But I'm sure that road going out of Binford was a trail at one time, and they just gravelled it, and there was never anything done with it.
So anyway, we've already deeded this parcel to the city once, and now that the city has liquidated it to these people, Travis wants all people that touched everybody that's alive that's in the chain of title, he wants to give a new deed. So I would recommend that we do that. on that we present Benjamin and Kiera Clark with a quitclaim deed for property in Medford, North Dakota. See, it's kind of dry at all. Is there a second? Second on that deal. Is there any discussion? The surveyor's report is in here. It's the last page in the
This whole
package.
shaded area?
Yep. Is there any discussion? Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So, does Madison have the original? I dropped it off here yesterday.
Suppose she does, yep. She is already gone, so
Oh,
she'll be back Tuesday. We're not open Monday, I mean.
right. So I'll stop back in.
Okay.
That's right, she told me she had to leave early today too. You gonna write a note to have her email me?
Okay, yep.
That's what Samantha has to do, otherwise she never sees me.
Okay.
My remember is poor. Oh, and I think this has already been straightened out, but we've always allowed the employees to decide what they're gonna do if the day after Thanksgiving. And since that day is not a holiday, the employees Samantha is asking that we give the employees that option again this year. And they can either, I mean, if they don't have any vacation, they'll have to take paid or unpaid leave. If they got vacation, they have to use vacation. But she was planning on doing the vote, and if everybody wants to be gone that day, that have the courthouse closed. Are your wishes the same as they have been on that? Since it's not really in our policy manual, we should probably approve it every year, I think.
I move we allow the employees to decide if they want to use Friday for work or vacation.
Been moved by Sean to allow the courthouse employees to take vacation and be closed on the day after Thanksgiving. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Dale. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any future discussion? Seeing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Old courthouse, new courthouse. Nothing. Future business?
Do you guys, I know we got that response back from the Historic Society. Is there anything that I'm supposed to be doing on that? Or is that all NDSU stuff, that's the architecture stuff that we gotta be working on?
I think Sam was gonna get a hold of them and tell them to go, right?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay.
I think, for now, I think that's all.
Right. And then once we get permission to raise it, I think then we should use all the documentation and hire a sales company to market it nationwide, using all the photos and everything.
Right. I think the
On a
state,
sealed bid auction or something like that.
the state actually is promoting that.
And I think a lot of the woodwork and things like that, the movable stuff, cabinets should be sold separately and then the building sold as a whole. There's some one-of-a-kind things in there that aren't
There's some pretty cool
Aren't-
stuff in there.
available today. The woodwork especially.
And the brass work. Hinges and doorknobs.
The doors, I mean, Or you get doors with transoms or whatever. Just the ceiling, like in the courthouse, is just ornate when you lift up the ceiling tiles.
Okay.
Lots of stuff there for people that are into that. Not around here maybe, but.
Future business.
This probably goes with old courthouse, new courthouse, but when we came for that meeting, water board meeting, and it snowed, and we were all walking through snow at 9 in the morning, isn't somebody supposed to clean off the sidewalk in the morning?
When was that?
When we had that water board meeting.
Water board.
Wednesday morning. You were here for it.
I know.
You didn't watch your feet when you walked in.
Apparently, I wasn't looking down. No, I mean, it was such a little bit. I suppose that nobody did anything. I haven't shoveled mine either, Dale.
No, but it was, you know, it was sweepable, and there's a herd of people coming in, it just makes the whole building.
Well, and there's liability issues if someone happens to.
Well, the shoveler has to clean too, doesn't he?
Yeah. Either on the front end or the back end.
Right?
It's easier to vacuum than shovel.
So I don't know if Samantha generally calls them when
I don't
there's
know.
snow, or he just.
I don't know.
Well, you wouldn't think there would have to be something that we would have to remind somebody about, but maybe we should remind somebody that when it snows, the driveway, the sidewalk should be cleaned
I don't know.
before the courthouse open.
Move we adjourn.
Been moved by Sean that we adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dale. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 3:30 PM on November 8th. The next regular meeting will be November 19th, does that say?
Yeah, it's a tax sale.
Oh, at 10:30 AM.
22nd,
When?
right?
19th is the tax sale.
Tax sale at 10:30 AM. Next regular meeting's the 22nd at 2:30 PM, yeah. Okay. Aye.
Yeah, thank you. You guys were pretty easy on me.
What's that?
I said you guys were easy on me, thank you.
10:30. There you go.
The packet was a lot thicker than it should have needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But there was just little items with lots of paper.
Chase after deer or anything?
I think they go by the mandate, put in too much and not, rather
sorry,
than
what's
not.
that?
They go by put in more than enough than not enough.
Yeah.